you came to Dubai a few years ago, you'd have got this, sand and loads of it. Then an amazing thing happened. Fantasy became reality, and in the space of just 20 years, Dubai turned from desert into a jaw-dropping oasis of stone, marble, concrete, glass and raw excitement. But the bolder and wackier the idea, the more likely it was to be accepted. Giant islands the shape of palms that could be seen from space. And soon there'll be the world's tallest skyscraper, a modern-day Tower of Babel that slices through the clouds at almost a kilometre above the ground. Dubai has become the centre of a modern-day gold rush. But the big question for Dubai is whether this great global credit crunch is going to bite here, and whether that will turn the Dubai dream into a nightmare. Dubai is one of the 7 states that make up the United Arab Emirates, under the rule of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Its reputation as a tax-free haven and land of opportunity has attracted 120,000 Brits, all chasing the Dubai dream. You have both completely lost your marbles. I mean, you have paid $50 million for a load of sand. A dream where your position in society can be elevated overnight and vast riches are there for the taking. It's quite a journey from a secretary on an Oxfordshire estate to this, flogging £17 million apartments in Dubai. In a country where Sharia-based law is dished out on crop-top wearing partygoers, what's it really like to live here? And mixing with the locals, I talk tactics with the man that bought Man City. There's the Burj Al Arab. And what about the world's financial meltdown? Are they feeling the heat? You say credit crunch, people say, whoa, whoa, there's no credit crunch in Dubai.
It's not coming, it's here.
But lurking in the background, behind all of this, is the fact that in just 10 years' time, Dubai's oil will run out. The race is on. If you'd invested in property out here over the past 6 years, I'd give your financial advisor a raise, because you'll easily have trebled your money. But it wasn't for the faint-hearted. 4 miles out to sea is probably the craziest property investment on the planet. For sale, 300 islands that, seen from above, replicate the countries of the world. This is absolutely ridiculous. I've heard about this place, I've seen the pictures, I know all the facts. Until you actually come out here like this and experience it for yourself, you have no idea of the sheer scale of it. 320 million cubic metres of redistributed seabed later, Dubai has not just put itself on the map, but put the map on itself. I'm heading for Britain. Gentlemen, permission to come ashore.
Permission granted.
Thank you very much.
Welcome aboard.
Nice to see you.
Welcome to the United Kingdom.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's head over to London, shall
Why
we?
not? Ex-Londoners Safi Qurashi and Mustafa Nagri moved to Dubai 4 years ago. Between them, they've just bought England. Dare I ask how much you've paid for it?
Topping over $50 million.
You have both completely lost your marbles. I mean, you have paid $50 million for a load of sand.
Yeah, it's one view.
Tell me some of the stuff
What
you're
are we
going to do
here? The idea very much is to have some luxury accommodation where you can bring your boat, park it right outside your villa, swimming pools, spas.
How many are we talking about?
You're talking in and around the 100 mark.
Right.
100 villas over here. So you're living in your own private villa, surrounded by, you know, absolutely amazing shorelines, beaches.
I mean, you
and
say
views.
that, but you're actually surrounded by the French over there and
Well,
the Germans over there. I mean, they are worryingly close, aren't they?
You know, they have built closer, but luckily there's still a bit of sea between us.
I'm imagining now these luxury villas here, and even if they went just for $5 million each, I've just worked out you'll make a profit of $450 million.
But you have forgotten the cost of construction.
Which is?
We're still working on that one.
Yeah,
You're still making what I think they call in Balham a nice little earner, aren't you?
well,
Yeah, Yeah, I guess you could say we might be.
I mean, that's a great story.
Absolutely.
Ballon boy buys Britain.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Safi is a perfect example of the Dubai dream. 4 years ago, he arrived here skint, having lost everything in a failed internet firm. Now, thanks to a series of shrewd property deals, he's the King of England and looking to invade France. But how did this little-known desert outpost become such a magnet for investors and those in search of a better life in the sun? Dubai has done an incredibly good job at marketing itself, largely through what at the outset appear to be utterly ludicrous projects. Think Dubai and you think glamour, wealth, and a rich hedonistic playground. Hardly surprising then that back in Britain, wrapped under red tape and trapped under the dark grey skies, so many downtrodden wannabes think this place is utterly irresistible. Although Dubai is twice the size of London, the main action takes place in a frenzied 20-mile strip along the coast. The legendary Dubai gold rush can be traced back to 2001, when the law was changed to enable foreign nationals to own property. It coincided with the launch of the most famous of Dubai's artificial island projects, the Palm Jumeirah, which, because it's connected to the mainland, lured investors by the truckload. And my first impression is it's massively bigger than it seems from the sky. Apparently 4,000 properties were sold in the first 72 hours of the project being announced, before a brick had been laid. The weirdest thing about Palm Island is that 5 years ago, I'd have drowned by now because this was all water. Nothing quite prepares you for the sheer scale of their ideas. Palm Jumeirah is so huge, its central trunk supports 2 6-lane motorways. At the tip, 3 miles out, sits Dubai's latest 5-star hotel, the Atlantis, complete with an underwater lost city in a fish tank. The Beckhams acquired a place here, and Ashley Cole and Michael Owen followed suit, creating a Middle Eastern Wag-Sumer. It may look like Brookside on the beach, but having a Palmer dress is the ultimate status symbol. And living the dream on Frond D is Neil Petch. Neil came out here 14 years ago and now publishes the Dubai version of GQ magazine. Judging by his cars, a Bentley, a vintage Jaguar and a Ferrari, life is good.
Okay, here we are, ladies.
Throw in a Russian model wife and her glamorous friends, and I'd say Palm living is very good. How much have these properties been going up by in value?
Well, about 4 villas on either side of me. No one lives there. People had them as an investment, and they're going up at such a rate that they don't actually need to rent it. I wish I were in that position.
I mean, if you bought that one at the start, for example, what would you have paid?
Well, that was probably about £700,000, 2.6 million dirhams in our currency.
And what would it be worth now?
15, something like that.
So around 6 times what you paid for it.
Exactly.
So it's been an amazing investment for people.
Yeah, it makes you question your own job when you're earning a lot less than your house is doing by sitting there.
And is there, like, in any development like this, is there a bit of, you know, keeping up with the Joneses?
Absolutely. I mean, I've had to upgrade my barbecue several times.
Dubai has learnt a very British lesson. We do like to be beside the seaside. Waterfront property commands a premium, and building out into the sea will add 300 miles to their coastline. But when we struggle to build something as simple as a Millennium Bridge, how do you create an entire city in just 20 years?
I have some days when I say, you know, this is crazy. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to live in a farm, you know.
And when you built it, how do you make sure the rich come flocking? This is ridiculous. I mean, how many towels are there? Why would you need 100 towels? And at the world's only 7-star hotel, I sampled the Dubai dream for myself. There are times when we build things so astounding that they become testaments to human ingenuity. The pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, and now, Dubai? Extravagance and Dubai go hand in hand, but this really does take the gold-plated biscuit. It's rumoured this 7-star hotel costs so much to build and run that it will never make a profit. But that's not the point. The Burj Al Arab is Dubai's Eiffel Tower, part of ruler Sheikh Mohammed's vision to put this place on the global map. The best rooms here will set you back 12 grand a night and come complete with one of the hotel's 16 white Rolls Royces and your own personal manservant.
They boast that they cater for every whim at the Burj Al Arab, and that's certainly the case with me, because I spent my entire life waiting for a bed where I could go to sleep looking at myself.
I'm here to meet builder Eddie Mitchell, who I last met at the height of the UK's property boom in Sandbanks, Dorset. Eddie was creating futuristic properties inspired by this hotel. He's been coming here on business for 5 years and is now a Gold Star guest, affording him extra special treatment.
Watching you coming in, it was like watching a visit by the Queen. You know, it was like a cast of thousands offering you tea and dates and hand lotions.
It's the same every time. My butler that I've had for 6 years, he meets us every time we come in. Whatever time of day, he's at the door. It's like coming home.
So, Eddie, last time we met was in Sandbanks,
Yeah.
where the funny thing was there is that you produced properties like this, which are, you know, by any normal standard in Britain, completely barking mad, futuristic, emporiums of glass and concrete and everything else. Out here, you're known as Mr. Boring, because, I mean, that is not even first base, is it?
Not really, no, Piers.
I mean, you must love it here. It's like a permanent building site.
Yes, but probably the biggest building site in the world, and after 30 years of building, I just love it.
You're like a pig in a sty, aren't you, Eddie?
Yeah, definitely.
For those who bought at the start in the Palm or the World or the Burj Dubai, how much money are people making?
I'm sure people are making many millions.
I mean, I heard of one Chelsea footballer who had a place on the Palm that he's never actually lived in. He paid £400,000 for it, and he's just sold it for £3.5 million.
Yeah, that's what he would have paid 6 years ago.
And he would now make £3.5 million?
Yeah, definitely.
Without setting foot in the place?
Yeah.
How have I missed out on this again?
We should have came here 6 years ago.
No, but you always seem to pop up in these places at the right time. I went to Sandbanks right at the peak. I've come to Dubai right at the peak. What I need to do with you, Eddie, is stick with you in the down times.
Well, you can come on site and be a builder if you want, Piers.
The great thing about Dubai is there's always a stunning new location to practice your golf.
But you wouldn't have thought you could practice your skiing as well. This is Ski Dubai.
It's 45 degrees centigrade out there, and in here, -4. In fact, it's absolutely bloody freezing.
The thing about Dubai is that the crazier the idea, the more likely it is to be accepted.
There are many extraordinary feats of construction underway in Dubai at the moment. A few more remarkable than this. It's going to be the biggest theme park in the world. It's going to be 107 square miles. Or to give you some idea of perspective, bigger than Birmingham.
But even more